Hello everyone, it's the first Sunday of September and of course time for a brand new prompt in the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium. Now the prompt for this month is Let's Journal. So let me just explain what we mean by that. Throughout the whole of this month we're going to be doing anything related to journals. It could be art journaling, it could be collage, it could be glue booking, it could be making tags for journals or making it ephemera for your journals. You know, feel free to interpret this in any way you like. We're not going to be holding any weekly challenges as such. It's just going to be a general prompt for the month called Let's Journal. So you can see that I've pulled out some bits and pieces of ephemera here, mainly inspired by this piece of scrapbooking paper. This was sent to me by Eugene a couple of years ago in Happy Mail. I love the design of this, and so I want to try and incorporate this in my journal today. I'm going to start off by taking this over to the paper trimmer, and I'm just going to trim down this edge here and this edge here, and then I'm just going to fussy cut these flowers out, and let's see what we can do with these. I think the best thing to do is to use a pair of nail scissors, so I'm just not going to be too fussy about this. Here we go. Let's just go all the way around the edge, and as soon as I've cut this out, I'll be straight back. So as you can see, I've fussy cut these out, and I've just been inking around the edges using Distress ink in frayed burlap, just to disguise the white line. If I hold them up, can you see the difference? So that's the one that I've already inked. It looks a lot neater. It just disguises any of my messy fussy cutting, and gets rid of the white as well. So there we go. So no need to be particularly precise when you're fussy cutting awkward things like this. Just go around it with a bit of Distress ink, and that's it. Job done. I love those. They're so pretty. Now, you saw at the beginning of the video that I pulled out a pile of different papers here. I've got various book papers in different languages. I've also got old vintage ledger papers as well. Now that I've cut these out, I was originally just planning on using one, but I do quite like the idea of using two. So let me just open this out, for example. So I could do something like this and then find a focal image for either side. So that's a possibility. I really like that. A lot of these are single pages, so I'm going to discard those. I don't like this one here. In fact, that's only a single side anyway, so that's no good. So we're left with these. So let's have a look and see what this looks like. Sorry, I've got a really croaky voice again. So there we go. I could have something like that. So at least I've been able to narrow this down to 2 pages. Let's try and make a decision. Of course, this is the page from the journal that I'm going to be using. I do want to cover both sides with this paper, so that one there would fit. We'd have some of the brown paper around these sides as a border, but that would be okay. Of course, the ledger paper would fit the whole page, no problem at all. So let's bring in the borders. So of course these are the borders that I want to use, and I want to have one on the left and one on the right. I also want to use some vintage bird images. Yashika Singh, who is one of my subscribers, requested that I do a vintage bird page. She's recently lost her uncle and her family budgie, and would you believe it, I've found this. I think it's more of a parrot, but there we go. I don't know my birds, so if I've got that wrong, excuse me, but I think that's absolutely beautiful. So my thinking is that I could have this bird here on the left hand side and this one here on the right. I just think that makes a really beautiful spread. So I've now got to decide which page I like the best. So hang on, let's do the same thing with the German paper and see which one is going to look the nicest. This is going to be a really hard call for me because I think I'm going to like both of these. Oh my goodness me. Has it got to be the German paper? Does that look more simplistic? I love how that looks. Oh my goodness. I think what I'm going to have to do is take a photograph of this and see how it looks through the camera lens, but I like them both. I think that's beautiful. I'm so glad I decided to take photos of these because it just puts everything into perspective. So that's the one I took on the ledger paper, and this is the one on the German book paper, and this is the one I'm going to go for. I think this one here is just a bit too busy and takes away from the beautiful images that I'm going to be using. Whereas this one here just really showcases everything. So that's going to be my choice. Okay, so let's figure out how we are going to glue this down so that we get the paper in the right place. Of course, this is the substrate I'm going to be gluing the book paper onto, and it's going to go on there like that. So we need to start off on the back. Now, what I've done is I've applied my paper here like this and drawn myself some guidelines. So you can see this pencil mark here and this one here at the bottom. I've then taken my paper over like this so that I've got even spacing on the left and right hand side there like that. So these are going to form my guide so that I know where to glue. So I'm just going to apply glue stick all over this side of my paper here, as always focusing on the edges. So this is just my regular Pritt stick. Love this glue. So we'll just make sure that we've got plenty of glue all over. So we've got the glue on. Bring back this paper here, and let's just stick this down. So I'm standing up to do this just to make sure I get it in the right place, using those marks as a guide. There we go, that's fine. And I'm just going to use a bone folder now just to spread everything out, and then I can take this over to my paper trimmer and just trim around the edges, and hopefully we've got this just right. So there we go, that's pretty good. It's slightly off, but you know, not too bad. I do want to apply a bit of glue here as well, just where those pages have torn in the centre. Now I wish that I'd applied some distress ink before I'd glued this down, but I didn't think about it. So I'm just trying to think what I can use just to get rid of the whiteness in the centre. So let's try some frayed burlap distress ink to start off with. Let's just go over the centre. Here we go, like this. Distress it slightly so that it looks as if it was meant to be there. In fact, actually what we could do is fold over like this and just ink. In fact, that's working better. There we go. I might even use a slightly darker colour as well. Might apply a bit more glue there as well, just to glue that down. This paper is really fragile. How does that look? That's not too bad, is it? Let's try maybe some vintage photo. So I'm just going to use the vintage photo just on that bit there. There we are. I think that's okay. And again, I think I need a tad more glue. Here, just like this, just to hold that in place. That looks fine. And I'm also going to ink around the edge as well, just so that everything is in keeping. It doesn't look as if we've just got a harsh line in the centre. I'll probably do this in both colours, both the vintage photo and frayed burlap. Let's start off with the darker one first. Now I've got a box of Cavallini & Co. Let me just show you the back. Cavallini & Co. Bird gift tags, and I'm going to be using some of these as focal images in my project today. These are just absolutely gorgeous. I love these so much. I've had these for several years. I don't even know whether you can still get a hold of them, but as I've said, Cavallini & Co. So do check out eBay and Amazon if you're interested in these. They've got lots of glitter on them as well, which is just absolutely beautiful. So here's the background now that it's been grunged up. I absolutely love how that looks. I've also inked around the top and bottom of the banner as well. So let's see if we can pull this page together. I do want to, in fact, what I think I'm going to do is take this out. I don't know whether I'll use that or use something different. It's too white. Maybe we can grunge it up a bit with some distress ink. I do want to ink around the edge of this first. There we go. Love how that looks. That's just beautiful. So that's going to go on there, something like that. Do you know, I keep going backwards and forwards and thinking, should I have chosen the ledger paper? The ledger paper was beautiful as well. Of course, we've got this piece here for the right hand side. Again, I'm just going to take that paper off and ink around the edges just to make these stand out. And then I need to decide whether I want to maybe grunge up these pieces of cotton here or maybe add some burlap. So I'm just going to play around with that as well. But that looks so lovely, gorgeous. I love that, beautiful. Now I do want to add some eyelets to these just to finish them off and just make them look more professional and substantial. So I'm just going to squeeze that. There we are. So that looks cool. In fact, it needs squeezing a bit more. Haven't done it quite enough. There we go. I like that. I'll do the same with the other side as well. I just love how the eyelets look. That makes a big difference. Now I've decided I want to use some burlap linen. This is an inch across. Let's have a look, including the frayed edges. So there we go. And I'm just going to cut this down the centre. This measures about 7.5 inches in length. So I'm just going to cut this with my fabric scissors and fray the edges again, just because it's too thick to have it in one piece. So here we go. So we'll then fray the edges just like this, just to mirror the other side, and we can have this. Here we go. Let's try and grunge it up a bit, just like the right. Maybe another one. There we go. And then we can have this through the tag. So let me just get my piece of usual metal that I use to thread through. So here we go. I've got my bent over piece of metal. So it's just a bent over piece of wire that I use as a needle for threading through thicker pieces of fabric. So let's do this. Makes it so much easier. There we are. And then we can just thread this through. Like that. I love it. That's gorgeous. That's beautiful. I like how that looks. That's much better than the string, and I'm going to do the same on this side here as well. So here we go. Let's in fact, let's fold it in half. Here we are, and thread this one through as well. It looks so cool. Beautiful. I love that look. And so now I'm just going to glue these down. And glue wise, because I know you always ask, I've just used regular Pritt stick to glue the borders down, and I'm just going to use some 3-in-1, if I can get it out of the tube. Here we go. Just to go around the outside like this. Not too much. Only a bit. So we'll have that on there like that. I want as much of the border showing as is possible. And again, I can, you know, as I always do, weight this down underneath a heavy book. So let's just pop some around the edge like this. You don't need much. This glue is really strong. And how do I want that to go? We'll have that there like that. Isn't that a pretty page? I love that. Now, I absolutely love this spread here. It's just beautiful, but I've decided I want to change where it goes in my journal. I don't think it goes particularly well here, so let me flip over. It just works absolutely wonderfully with this page here. So this is where I'm going to put it. So I'm just going to slide this in, and again, you know, as I always harp on about, the joy of having signatures that you can slide in and out, you know, just so that you can move things around is just a joy. So there we go, and takes the pressure off as well, always having to coordinate things. So that just works beautifully with that page there. So let's have a look. What's the other side? Where's it gone? Let's see if I can find it. And this one here, it just goes beautifully with that page there as well. I love that. Now, going back to where that page originally was, here we go, here it is. I do want to do something with this page here. I'm not going to finish the page off, but I do want to add a background. I've got this gorgeous napkin here that I think colour-wise is going to work really, really well. I do want to get rid of this sticker, so what I'm going to do is melt this off. I'm just going to heat set this with my heat tool so that the glue underneath melts, and then I can peel that sticker off. And here we go, you can see that this is just peeling off really easily now. There we go, that's that done. So that's the other side. So I think this piece of napkin here is going to go really well in the middle. So I just want to glue this down. So to start off with, I'm just going to peel the plies apart. I think this is either 2 or 3 ply. It might be only 2. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. I think it's 2 ply. So let's get rid of those layers. Here we are, like this. Let's have a look. Have we got another layer? I don't think we have. And then I'm just going to apply a layer of glue. I'm just going to use glue stick over the back of my page. So this is the back of this page here. And then let's see if we can apply this napkin. So we need it this way around here, like this. Let's just try and smooth it out really, really well. Here we go. We've torn it here, but that's okay. Smooth around the edges just to make sure that that sticks. And I'm just going to trim around the edges. That's just beautiful. Isn't that pretty? So here's the polka dot page, and I've got no idea what I'm going to do with this yet, but I just love how it marries with the other pages in this little cluster. This is such an eclectic journal that I've got going on here, and I just absolutely love that. So let's have a look. Where was the page I did earlier? So here we go. So there's that one there, and where's the other side? So that page and that page. I love how those go so beautifully together as well. So I'm calling that done for today. So just to recap, the prompt for this month is let's journal. Let's try and fill up our journals this month. Or for those of you that have always wanted to start a journal, then, you know, this is your time to maybe get one on the go. But it could be collage journaling like I've done here. It could be art journaling or mixed media journaling. It could be glue booking, you know, whatever takes your fancy. It could even be creating ephemera to go into a journal. So tags and tuck spots and, you know, all of that kind of thing. So feel free to interpret this in any way you like. I've got 2 or 3 different journals on the go at the moment. So, you know, you'll probably see me flitting between them all. Although I do want to come back at some point and do something with that. Where's it gone? That beautiful polka dot background here. I'm going to see what I can find to go on this beautiful polka dot background, and perhaps this spotty one in the background as well, but we'll see. But if you've enjoyed what I've created today, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to go and check out and see what Kylie has been up to this week, but most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.